Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, today is another diagnostic video on this beloved 328xi 2009 model, and I'm going to diagnose some of the humming noise, sometimes cracking noise. Well, usually humming noise comes from moving parts, unless something is rubbing against another part. But in my case, sometimes I hear cracking noise and slight clunking noise, and I'm not really sure what it is. Usually I'm using my regular stethoscope like this one, so I can touch to the component that I suspect, and I can wiggle that A-arm or ball joint, tie rod, and I can hear it's if it's bad or not. But it's only doing this during the motion, so I have to use an electronic stethoscope, something like this. Now this is a Chinese product. I got it from the eBay. It's cost only 30 bucks, and that was a big temptation for me not to buy it, because I got nothing to lose. It's only 30 bucks, and but I've been surprised how well it's made, and comparably to a high-end brand like a Steelman, which is basically doing exactly the same thing. So I purposely chose a wired option because there is a wireless option, but wireless option accepting all kinds of or interfering all kinds of noises. So the best way would be the hardwire option. Well, so I ran like 6 channels, so 6 probes I attached to the component that I suspect, and I'm going to see how it's going to perform while I'm going to drive my vehicle. Now let me show you the beauty of this little device. So you have a light here, and you have an on and off switch, and you can switch channels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I ran those wires underneath of my vehicle, and I attached like one of them to the tie rod, another one to the ball joint, another one to the steering rack, to the stabilizer link. And if you look closely, I mark them, like this one is number 5. And well, this is the only downside that Chinese did not do properly, because they should mark all of those channels on actual alligator clips, but I'm going to mark it with actual paper stickers later on. Now this is number 3. This is for my lower arm, and so we'll see. I'm going to secure all of those wires so nothing is going to ripped out during the ride, and we'll see how it's going to perform. But for now, all I can show you, like for example, this one is channel number 3, and if I'm going to put on a channel number 3 and tap, let's see here, I'm going to tap on the channel number 3. Let's see, just one sec. So if it's clunking, it's gonna show you exactly, gonna give you a sound, plus it's gonna show you that the light bar is gonna show you this is the problem. So I really like it. We'll see how it's going to go. Let's try. And guys, as I suspected, it was number 1 and number 3 probes that was doing the most red line that I see, number 1 and number 3, which means this is my tension strut and my arm. I'm sorry, I'm driving, and the video is not the best quality right now, but you got my point. So I've been switching between the channels, and I can clearly hear number 1 noise and the number 3. Now when I was saying I can hear the most number 1 and number 3, and I could see the red line on number 1 and number 3 channel, which is number 1 and number 3 probes, clamps attached to the tie rod, number 1, and number 3 was the front arm. The rest of the, like a tension strut, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing from the steering column. I didn't hear nothing from the motor mount and the sway bar. So obviously I will have to eventually or pretty soon replace tie rod and the front arm, but because this is a 117,000 mile car and all of the suspension components are original, most likely that I'm going to replace all of them, because there is no reason just to replace two and not to replace the rest of the number 3 ball joint and number 4 tension strut. So this is the conclusion. Nothing bad, because otherwise I would feel it with my hand. So occasional crack, I think that is going to last a little bit longer, but well, the conclusion is that if this little device is worth it to spend 30 bucks, I think yes, especially after I confirmed that my alternator need to be rebuilt, because I've been listening the bearings making noise. I've been listening with my regular mechanical stethoscope, plus I confirmed with this one. I guess I can show you right now what I mean by that. Like for example, if I touch with the probe closer to the pulley where the bearing is, not touching the pulley obviously, I'm going to see that there is a light bar blinking, and sometimes it's going to even blink much higher than that, especially on the cold engine. So that obviously this little device is feeling that bearing is making a little noise already, so it's time to rebuild the alternator, which is I am going to do in my next video, because this is also original alternator, 117,000 miles. I can pinpoint and listen more accurately with this stethoscope. I can really hear the bearing, front bearing on the alternator that is basically making that noise. But this machine also confirmed that, as you can see. So yeah, it is what it is. 30 bucks, not a big investment, and if it's worth it, I think it is. I cannot compare with any other brands which one is more accurate, but this one is doing pretty good job, and this is how I narrow down the problem this time. Usually I am okay just by doing by hand with a pry bar, lifting up my suspension, you know, the front of the vehicle, and wiggling the suspension components with the pry bar or by hand. But yeah, it's just for fun, another experience. Maybe this tool will be useful in the future. Maybe I can even touch with the clamp each injector to see if the injector is working properly or not, if all of them making same noise. Yeah, I can also listen if the power steering pump are making any noises, which I did already. But this video is about the suspension, and that's what I'm going to do next. Replace a few, not few, probably the entire front end suspension components. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and God bless you. God bless America, Canada and Ukraine. Stay safe. Bye.